What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're going back to Subway to Sally. Yes, indeed. Subway to Sally fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Java Devil, and Java Devil wanted to see me react to this. It is Subway to Sally with a tune entitled Kleid Aus Rosen. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second. Yeah, this is sounding a little familiar. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's see, this was posted by Napalm Records, all right? And the video has 56,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Subway to Sally, Kleid Aus Rosen, featuring Shotnamal live, Napalm Records. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Sounds like we're going into a bridge. I like everything I've heard. Everything is sounding good. There was one spot where I was a little concerned because I did feel like that after the intro we had the it wasn't really a cappella. There was some accompaniment, but it was mostly focusing on the vocals from the two violinists and from the flute player. Between the harmonies and the counter melody, it was really pretty. It was really well done. It absolutely was. But if I'm being 100% honest, it didn't feel like it was part of the song. It felt a little disjointed. And it wasn't because of anything that they did. It's what came afterwards. It just, we had this really pretty a cappella section. Well, not really a cappella, not fully a cappella, but focusing mostly on the vocal work between the three ladies in their interweaving voices. And it sounded really nice. It sounded really pretty. But then when the song kicked back in, it was so jarring. It came back in exactly where the intro left off. So here's the intro. It's up here. It's coasting. And right from here, it goes down for this vocal this vocal triad. And then as soon as the vocal triad was over, it came suddenly with absolutely no crescendo, no build whatsoever. Boom! Right back up, right where we left off again. It ended up making that vocal section feel a little out of place. Like it didn't really belong in the song. I'm not saying what the ladies did was bad. No. They sounded just fine. I'm saying from an arrangement standpoint, from a songwriting standpoint, because of how it was executed, it made that part feel alienated. And that was the one section I wasn't really 100% thrilled with. Everything else in the song has sounded really good. I've dug everything else I've heard up to this point. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird. Anyway, let's get back in this. Let's see if I'm right about this bridge.
Wuchsen Blätter, wuchsen Blüten, wuchsen unbekannter Schmerz in dem jungen Mädchenherz. Später hat man sie gesehen, einsam an den Wassern stehen. Niemals hat man je erfahren, wenn's den Preis der Meister gab. Rosen auf mein weißes Kleid.
That was better. That was better. It followed the exact same format as it did in the beginning, but one big difference. When the guitars, bass, and drums came fully back in again, it didn't just go from here to here. There was a slight buildup. Now, granted, it was only a couple of measures, but there was a buildup nonetheless. Listen. Okay, it was one measure. So it was one measure, but it was a one measure lead in. And the drums did a great job of doing it. Doom, do da, doom, do doom. And it felt smoother going from one section to the next. And it created that connectivity between the two sections. I like that approach way better than what we heard on the first one. So I'm glad, number one, I'm glad they came back to that section because it shows it wasn't just a one-time off, and we'll never hear from it again. So I'm glad they came back to it and revisited. Secondly, I'm glad the approach of coming out of it was different, because now we saw it is conducive. It is part of the song. It does belong. Where on the first one, it was kind of like, not so sure about that. So I'm glad they did it again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Subway to Sally with Kleid Aus Rosen. This was a request from Java Devil. Okay. I have a score. It makes perfect sense to me. Not really a whole lot to talk about that I didn't talk about during the course of the reaction. So I'm going to just hit a couple of bullet points and, bing, bop, boop. We should be out of here fairly quickly. But then again, you know how that goes on the channel. Next thing you know, we're here for 10 minutes, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this goes, I guess. Let's start with the score first. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.4. Yep, 7.4. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.4. What does that mean? Well, a 7.4 would translate to a really good skill rating, because overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.4, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. That's B as in boy. B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. My only concern about the song, honestly, was that one section. Towards the beginning, after the intro was done, we brought it down. We had the acapella vocals. Well, not 100% acapella, but pretty much acapella. And then when we came out of it, we came, boom, right back up again with no lead-in whatsoever. And that was a big concern of mine. And I was really hoping we would revisit it. I was really hoping we would come back and maybe do it a little bit differently. And wouldn't you know it, ask and ye shall receive. That is exactly what happened. We came back to it, and this time coming out of it, we had that drum fill. Now, I know a drum fill isn't the biggest, most spectacular, most grandiose way to come out of that section. It could have been done, smoother, longer, bigger, but it got the job done. It showed a transition out. So it didn't go from here to here with no lead in. It went from here to here. We had that little scoop, thanks to the drum fill. I was so glad that they did that. Not only was the vocal work really well done in that quote unquote acapella section, but it definitely, by adding that drum section, it gave more depth to it and made it feel like it was really a part of the song instead of feeling just completely disjointed. On top of that, we had the bridge, which was really nice. I like that. I love it when songs have bridges. Not every song needs a bridge, but if a song can utilize a bridge in a positive way that adds to the overall value of the song, absolutely, bring it on. I was glad to see that. It felt good. Right before we brought it back down again, very nicely done. Very good arrangement there. The chord progression for the song, pretty easy to follow once you got the hang of it. Well, once you got through it once or twice, it made perfect sense, and it was fairly easy to follow. Not a whole lot of surprises there. Instrumentally, everybody sounded just fine. I loved the addition of the violins and the flute. I thought they added a good layer of depth to the song and to the band as a whole. The guitar work, bass, drums all sounded fine. I had no issue with anything there. The vocal work sounded just fine from the lead vocalist. Again, fitting the mood and tone of the song without any issues, any problems. No, I mean, overall, the song is really good. It's a really good tune. And that's why I'm really giving it the 7.4 more than anything. I know the title said live. Okay, I get that. That was not a live performance in front of a crowd. That was a live recording. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put an asterisk next to that word live. We saw them performing. Okay, we saw them playing. We saw them, playing their instruments, right? Yes, we did. I believe wholeheartedly that the visuals, what we saw was them playing live. Absolutely. Okay, I am not questioning that. What we heard, was that 100% live? I'm going to say yes, again with an asterisk. Don't think for 1 second Napalm Records is going to just release raw footage. Don't believe for 1 second that's going to happen. They took the audio and they scrubbed it. They took the audio and they ran it through post-production. There was mastering and remixing done. There was, okay? So don't tell me, oh, what we heard was 100% live. No, it wasn't. It was post-produced live. Yes, what we heard was what they played. Absolutely, okay? But there was post-production done. Napalm Records would not have released this if there was no post-production done. So do not fool yourselves. It was not raw audio, okay? Now, like I said, though, the notes that were played were what we saw them playing. Absolutely, yes, okay? So I am saying it was live with an asterisk, okay? There was obviously some post-production done, but it still sounded really good. I had no issue with it, and that's why I'm giving it the really good score of 7.4. I feel good about that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.4, which is a really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then, by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.